As world economies develop and a significant number of people transition into the middle class, pressure is growing for global prosperity to be achieved in an environmentally sustainable way. Sectors like agriculture particularly need to address environmental concerns, as nearly 40% of the world's population rely on it for their livelihood. Yet, some 75% of crop diversity has been lost from farmers' fields because of unsustainable business and farming practices. This has thrown millions into food insecurity and casts a shadow over the future of many more.
And then we had the carbon solutions providers.
At the inaugural Ecosperity conference in Singapore, organized by Temasek and supported by NUS Business School, Jörg Wittmer, chairman of Switzerland's Chevaudan Group, summed up the problem.
I think the biggest challenge is how you can achieve to grow more from less.
Demand for food is going to grow exponentially, he says, with changing demographics and rising incomes in the developing world, meaning the world will have to double its agricultural output.
And there's only one answer to that, as resources, particularly land resources, are finite. It's innovation and technology. And the agriculture really, as it is today, has grown, has developed thanks to innovation and technology.
So can sectors and companies be environmentally sustainable and yet make profits?
Water might be scarce here and plentiful there.
Dr. Andrew Steer from the World Resources Institute thinks they can, delivering a win-win outcome on both fronts.
We can get from today's high carbon, low efficiency world economy to a low carbon, high efficiency world economy in a way that actually doesn't mean we need to sacrifice growth. We can actually have more growth, and there's several reasons for that. One is that if you address environmental problems, you also will be addressing efficiency problems, resource efficiency problems, because in many ways an environmental problem is indicative of a resource inefficiency. And another reason is that technology is essential to growth, and the world economy right now needs a boost in technology, and that boost can come from low carbon, sustainable new technologies.
But the adoption and use of low carbon technology has been slow, especially in regions like Asia, where businesses are focusing on bottom line numbers and where environmental regulations are regularly flouted. Professor Ken Richards says this short-termism needs to change if Asian companies want to compete globally in the sustainability race.
There are several challenges that Asian companies particularly face. The first one is, of course, this drive for short-term results. The second is an understanding of the challenges involved in encouraging businesses to think not only of their shareholders, but more broadly of their stakeholders.
Certain sectors are now taking these concerns seriously. Harangued by environmentalists for decades, the oil and natural gas sector is changing, says Peter Wasser, the former CEO of Royal Dutch Shell.
I think 20 years ago we looked at the oil and gas business and everybody was talking about this is a reserve space which is declining, and now we have, over the last few years, we have seen with new technologies that we actually have increased for, as I said, on the gas side, up to 200 years of gas resources available. So we have much more. They are more difficult from a technology point of view. They may be in more remote areas, and that actually needs a lot of investments and a lot of, let's say, skills and technologies.
But he says that communities and society as a whole are now more aware of how energy is actually produced, and telling people what businesses do and getting their participation is becoming crucial.
The inclusion of communities and other stakeholders as early as possible in a project has completely changed over the last 10 and 20 years to the benefit of society, but also to the benefit of the industry.
There are some positive signs that companies from East Asia are moving ahead with sustainable business plans. China recently struck an ambitious deal with the United States to cap carbon emissions and to increase the use of renewable energy. Such developments, experts say, will lead to far-reaching changes over the next few years, with a two-way flow of best practice between East and West. For NUS Business School, I'm Pretna Suri.